Hey, good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here and I am glad to be here. All right, let's go big. Begin in gratitude. All right, today I'm grateful for those who live quietly but profoundly. Now, how many of you watch the Masters? Okay. I mean, you can't help but did you see the crowd? Did you see him after he sunk that last putt? Did all of the emotion? And we all celebrated with it. He got dopamine, serotonin. We got dopamine, serotonin. It was an amazing, amazing, enjoyable experience. And through all of that, I couldn't help but think about one person, somebody who's very dear to me, and that's Coach John Wooden. And I had a lot of opportunities for him. He won 10 national championships. He was honored by so many people. But one of the things that I remember most is at the end of his college basketball Hall of Fame induction. So he's standing up there at the pulpit. He didn't boast about records or championships. He didn't even mention the banners. Instead he stood up and he just softly recited a poem. And it's one that I heard him share many times. And it's called God's Hall of Fame. You've heard of it. Little excerpts of that never left me. Your name may not appear down here in this world's Hall of Fame. In fact, you may be so unknown that no one knows your name. This Hall of Fame is only good as long as time shall be. But keep in mind, God's Hall of Fame is for eternity. So to have your name inscribed up there is greater, yes, by far, than all the halls of fame down here and every man-made star. Can you see him standing at the front of the room doing this when they're all honoring him? And he says, the crowds on earth, they soon forget the heroes of the past. They cheer like mad until you fall, and that's how long you last. But God, he never does forget. And in his Hall of Fame, by just believing in his son, inscribed, you'll find your name. He said, I tell you, friend, I wouldn't trade my name, however small, that's written there beyond the stars in that celestial hall, for every famous name on earth or glory that they share. I'd rather be an unknown here and have my name up there. I'm not trying to take anything away from that moment, but every once in a while when I see celebrations like that, brings me back to him and where he's at. And I just hope I could have that kind of grounding in my life. Lori and I'll never forget the time that we met with Coach Wooden one time. First time we met him in his condo in UCLA, near UCLA. Simple, elegant, deeply meaningful, though. You walk through the door. What struck me most, the smallest detail, made a huge impact. You know what chair molding is around in a condo. So it had chair molding around. Everything above the chair molding was exactly the same way that it was when his wife Nellie left for the last time in 1985 on the way to the hospital. She passed away. Nothing's been changed in this whole condo, everything above. The 10 national championships, the pyramid of success, um, all of that stuff everything that he had achieved, exactly the way it was when she left. And there on the floor were all these other awards that have happened since, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom that was given to him by President George W. Bush on the floor. That simple visual tells you everything you need to know about Coach Wooden. The world celebrated him for his coaching, but his greatest honor was being Nellie's husband. And that's the difference between the world's Hall of Fame and God's. So the world praises performance. God celebrates presence. The world gives you a spotlight. God invites you to serve in the shadows. And that's why we go big, not for the stage, but to begin in gratitude and hopefully make ripples that matter. Coach Wooden lived what he taught. Go big every day, especially when no one's watching. That's Coach Wooden. Ask anybody that was around him. Unsinkable vision. He lived for love, not legacy. Enduring impact. He just didn't build success, he built significance. And arrows out. His impact was rooted in service, not status. So here's the challenge this week. What am I honoring above the chair rail of my life? What are you honoring above the chair rail of your life? What small act of character, compassion, or connection could you do today, even if no one else sees it? Coach Wooden often said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Let's stack the kind of moments that really count. And may we live each day in such a way that our name is written where it matters most. Make this week meaningful. Have a meaningful week, and let's come back next week and have a chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Share this message with others. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.